Good morning everyone. We're at our home berth at Airlie Beach, which is right next door to the Cruiser Sunday Ferry Terminal, which makes for some great viewing from time to time. Pretty empty today, they've got most of the boats out. Wave Piercer's not doing the run out to the reef at the moment. Must be down on numbers or something, or maybe doing some servicing on it, who knows. Well, our little project over the next few days is to finally do some repairs to this bowsprit that's gone soft. It's got water in it, and I think the core material in this thing is timber, and consequently the water's compromised the timber over time. The boat's a 2007 model, so what's that, nearly 14 years old. So actually a bit older than that, but it's a 17-year-old. So what we're going to do is, I did a temporary repair with this anchor winch some time ago and put it on a bit of Teflon. It's an old knife cutting board actually, and that's worked okay. What was happening was the anchor winch was moving slightly, and as the stripper for the chain is mounted on the boat rather than attached to the anchor winch itself, it was getting out of alignment and consequently jamming up. That's been working quite well actually over the last couple of years, but now we decided to bite the bullet. So what we're going to do is remove all this gear off the bowsprit. We're going to cut around the top edge of the fiberglass and hopefully peel that top edge off in one piece, and then remove all the compromised coarse fill that's in there at the moment and replace it with a fibre composite material, and epoxy it all back up again, and then put the cover back on, dress the edges that we've cut, and hopefully it'll last, well, forever from there. But anyway, it has to be done, so we've decided to bite the bullet. We're here for a couple of weeks before we start heading south, and then we'll hang around here for another month or so, watch the yacht racing, the Airlie Beach race week and the Hamilton Island race week, and then we'll head off down south. So that's game plan. So this is going to be a long-term repair, so we'll get started on it today. Probably take about 4 days or so, depending on the tradesman I'm getting in to do the fiberglassing and so forth. But yeah, anyway, well, let's see how we go. After waiting for about 10 days for the shipwright and the weather to clear, we finally got a bit of blue sky showing, and unfortunately the shipwright can't make it. So what we're going to do, what we've decided to do, is me to work under his supervision. So he's asked me to cut the top off the bowsprit, which I've done. That's the top. It's where the anchor winch bolts on and a couple of the leads. And this is what we've ended up with. Now I've dug a bit of this out before I decided to take a picture of it, but she's pretty soft. So we're just sort of digging out all the soft wet parts, well, the whole lot really, and we're going to put a complete new base in it and then epoxy it in. So I'm going to carry on for the next couple of hours digging this out, and Dave's going to come down and measure it all up and get me the composite material for the filling her up. So we'll carry on. Well, I'm back doing the Bowsprit rejuvenation, I suppose we should call it. What we're going to do, or what I've done, as you can see now, I've removed all the old inner core and sort of sanded down the surface to give it something to bond to. I've got the top plate. Where's the top plate? Here. I've cleaned all of that, back of that up. That will eventually get re-glued onto the top of the existing system. Dave, the shipwright's given me all the core material, so we're going to go about mixing this up and setting it in place. Probably do this in a couple of stages, and this will be stage one. So hopefully you can see everything going on. It's not going to be very exciting, but I'll see if I can get a better spot for you. An aeroplane going overhead, trying to do some aerobatics. This might be a better spot. How's that look? Alright, well, let's start mixing stuff up. Using the West system. No idea how this is going to end up. But what could possibly go wrong in this day and age? Put some surgical gloves on, save a lot of cleaning up later on my body. I've got some masking tape underneath these holes here so that the resin doesn't fall straight through. But we'll see how all this goes. Come on, you can do it. No, I can't. I got it round the wrong way. Righto, we're ready. So we used dry fitted all the fibre composite materials that I'd been supplied with by the shipwright. He'd done quite a good job of this and actually had all the joints staggered so that no two joints were in the same position on either the base layer or the top layer. It was a fair bit of a learning curve on my part as to how this worked. I think this is the first lot of epoxy I'd ever mixed up other than a bit of araldite. So getting the mixture content and viscosity was a bit of a learning curve, but anyway, it all seemed to work out in the end, and everything went together quite well. There was two different types of composite material. The base layer actually had little holes in it everywhere for the resin to come up from the base through the material and up to the surface of the layer. The second layer didn't have that and was a much different type of compound. It was probably 100 times the strength of the base layer. I'm not sure what the theory of all that was, but it certainly did work a treat. We did change our plans of gluing the existing top back onto the composite material when it was finished, and what I'd done is I went down to the local engineering shop and got him to cut a piece of 6mm stainless steel and drill all the holes using the top layer as a template.
for the steel, and it actually worked out extremely well, and I'm pretty happy with it. And now the Bowsprit is really like a reinforced piece of concrete, or even stiffer than that. So pretty happy all in all with the end result. Well, I don't know how much you got of that, but anyway, that's the finished product for today, and we'll see how things go tomorrow. Signing off for today, time for a beer. For some reason or other, I can't find any film of the other repairs to the finished product, but this will show you a bit of the transformation from the soggy wet core to the finished stainless steel embedded into the Bowsprit. Pretty happy with the overall result.
Okay, confit garlic today. There's a kilo of peeled garlic in there. I did not peel it myself. I didn't peel it myself. You can buy it for about $9 a kilo, bagged, vacuum sealed at the fruit and veggie shops, and it's great. I mean, it's not Australian garlic, so you know you get what you pay for though. But it's good. This stuff, rosemary, a couple of sprigs of rosemary, which I'm going to take the leaves off because it's just easier. Oh, the boat's falling to pieces. I'm not surprised. Okay, that's going in there. Now, olive oil, which is over here hiding in the corner. We go industrial size here because we do use a bit. Now, I'm going to just cover. I'm not going to do anything until I open it. I'm so well prepared. Going to cover the garlic with oil, because it will shrink the garlic, not the oil. This is when you hope you put your Thermomix together properly. So hopefully that'll be enough in there. Give it a bit of a stir. Yes, I did put it together. Always helps to check that beforehand. Okay, lid on, 15 minutes. Aroma, which is boiling. I'll put that on instead of the lid, so that if it splatters, it won't splatter everywhere. But with the lid on, it's also holding its heat, so I'll take that off. And speed 1, I guess. And we will come back in 15 minutes or so, and we'll have jars and jars of confit garlic, which will smell wonderful. So see you in 15, folks. Just done a bit of a recheck. It's 20 minutes, reverse, speed 1. If you don't reverse it, you're going to mash the garlic, which you really don't want. So a bit longer, and the reverse is slower. So done. Okay, we have now finished. So confit garlic is done. I'm now going to attempt to put it in the jars. I'm not going to film this because we're out at South Mole Island in a strong wind warning, so we're gusting a bit, upwards of 25 consistently at the moment. We just lost Dishy overboard, which is our Starlink thingy, so I'm not going to try and tape me bottling this because it could end up pear-shaped and there might be language not suitable for children. But I will take pics when it's all done. John's upstairs trying to refresh Dishy at the moment. We'll get back to you soon. Thank you. Okay, this is my booty. Bounty's probably better. A kilo of garlic has come out into 3.5 jars. I didn't film that because I'm dealing with boiling hot oil and a very bouncy boat. So 3.5 jars of confit garlic, and that gets used for everything from garlic bread, garlic butter. The oil gets used in cooking. I pretty much don't use any other garlic anymore, just the confit, because it's a much gentler taste, much more rounded. And you can use it for absolutely anything. I'll tell you what, if you have some sourdough bread, just squish it on there, because that's hella good, hey? Alright, hope you enjoyed this. Hope you get some fun out of it. Don't be afraid to do it. You can also do it on your cooktop. Just do it on a medium heat. Don't walk away from it, and bring it, I think, about 15 minutes or so on a medium heat, and then decant it. But I will look up the instructions a little bit clearer and let you know when we post a video. I'll post up the instructions for a stovetop, because it's certainly doable. Thanks, folks.
Well, thanks for watching. We've had to get out of our berth because we've let it out to some of the visiting cruising yacht racing boats up here for Reef Festival and Early Beach Race Week. So we're actually at the moment over at South Mole Island in Bower Bay, tucked in here, because we've had, as usual, about 20 to 30 knots of wind and high seas being the spring tides. So we're just sort of sitting out over here until the weather gets a bit better, and we'll head back into Early Beach very shortly and take in the festivities of the Reef Festival. We're hopefully the next episode, which will probably be in a couple of weeks' time, will be of some of those festivities at Early Beach. So until then, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.